What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here today, and I know I haven't posted this much this week, and I've been busy, so my apologies. But we're back now on a Friday afternoon, and today I wanted to preview the 2022-23 Chicago Blackhawks roster. And we know it's going to be a bad year. I did my predictions. I'll do the power rankings eventually when I get around to it, but it's going to be a bad year. So just like last year when I did their 2021-22 lineup projections and just overview, we're going to do it again with this year. So to start it off we'll start with the forwards. On the first line, we have Athanasiou, Tyler Johnson, and Kane. Athanasiou and Kane are UFAs. Kane I probably see is gone at the deadline. Athanasiou could be if he has a good season. Second line, Lucas Reichel. He's not going anywhere. Jonathan Toews is a UFA. We'll go back to him. And Taylor Radish, he's not going anywhere. He played very well when he came over from Tampa in the Hagel trade. Third line, Max Domi, who's also a UFA. Lafferty and Blackwell. Blackwell played very well with the Maple Leafs. He played when the Maple Leafs he came over and played for. He played well enough there. He was okay in Seattle. To be honest, it was Seattle though. So, and Lafferty had a pretty good season. He was tearing it up the end of last season. Probably setting career highs. He might have. I didn't really check the stats before this. Then on the fourth line, we have Boris Kachuk, Kara, who will be back from injury. He's a UFA as well. Mackenzie Entwistle. And then these guys are probably going to fit up and down the lineup. Philip Kurashev, who's an RFA, Mike Hardman, Reese Johnson. There are 3 Johnsons on this team. I think we're missing one, and that's Eric. So, yeah. Going on to the defense, we have Caleb Jones and Seth Jones on the first pair. Caleb Jones is an RFA. Both had good seasons last year. Unfortunately, the Hawks did not. Stillman and Murphy on the second pair. I'd probably put McCabe with Murphy. However, McCabe is on IR, and he's currently acting as their 7th defenseman, even though he can't play. He's out like 10 to 12 weeks. I think it's at 8 to 12 weeks for some sort of surgery. I don't remember where it was. I remember seeing it on Instagram somewhere. And then Jack Johnson, who's a UFA at the end of the season, just won a Stanley Cup with Colorado. Him and Vlasic, he's going to be a mentor to Alex Vlasic on that D-line pair. So you have your defense. And then in net, you have a few choices. Peter Mrazek, who we acquired in a trade from Toronto on the draft floor. Alex Stalock, who he signed for a 1-year deal, and he's a UFA. And then Soderblom, who came in and played a few games last year and was not very good at all. To be fair, they just lit him up. When it was after Fleury and Lankinen both went down with COVID, they bring up Delia and Soderblom. They both got shelled. It wasn't pretty. But yeah, so how many people are we going to either probably be gone at the end of the season? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 UFAs, 2 RFAs, and a lot of suffering about to happen this season. So Kane, I can predict he's going to be traded at the deadline, so that'll move a spot up. Everyone basically moves up here. Radish moves up. Kurashev probably moves in. Toews has potential to be gone at the deadline. I'm not sure if he will, because even taking 50% of his contract, that still leaves $5.25 million. So unless a team with let's say Anaheim's in the playoff hunt, they have a ton of cap space. Let's say they go after him, bam, Toews can be on their team, fine. But most teams do not have the cap space to take Toews at this point. And then Athanasiou, he played. He didn't play a lot with the Kings last year. He was injured for a lot of it. So if he plays well enough, he might get a shot at the deadline and be traded away for some picks or prospects. Domi's another one of those guys. He was traded at the deadline from Columbus to Carolina last season. Had 2 big goals in Game 7 against Boston that got them over that hump in the series. I remember I was watching at a Greek restaurant, and I remember being like, I was jumping, hey, Max Domi, the guy I always picked up with the Hawks in franchise mode. And now he's with the Hawks and not in franchise mode. So that's pretty funny. Kara back from injury, UFA. He might stick around. He could be also shipped off at the deadline for a 6th, 7th round pick. If he has a good season, a 5th maybe. But yeah, Kara, 4th line center, tough guy, not really much that's notable there. Defense, Caleb Jones, if he has a year like last year, he might be getting a little bit of a raise. Jack Johnson, I'm pretty sure, is probably going to come in for this year unless no one wants him next year. In that case, we'll probably bring him back for another year. Plains got to be Plains. Murphy's going to be back from injury, so hopefully he can have a good season. Seth Jones, he's going to be here for a while. Alex Vlasic, young defenseman. Riley Stillman, still a young defenseman. Hopefully shape the defense around these three guys during the rough years. And even Murphy and McCabe are going to be here. So basically we have 6 guys here pretty much. We have 3 guys here long term already, and then add Vlasic, Stillman, and Caleb Jones. You might have a defense for the bad era. Then in net we have Mrazek, as I said before. He came off a rough season with Toronto. Stalock, a UFA, did not play in the NHL last year. I'm pretty sure he was a backup at some point. Either he or Stolar. I think it was Stolar that got traded. Pretty sure he spent an entire last season in the AHL. I don't remember him playing a game. Soderblom I already talked about. So, yeah, that's really all I have for you guys today. Tell me if you think there's going to be any other changes to this lineup. If Taves and Kane will either be going by the start of the regular season. I do not think so at this point. Otherwise, it would have already happened. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.